You know, a lot of content creators think that becoming a full-time YouTuber or streamer comes from YouTube actually paying you. But here's the truth. Less than 10% of creators are actually able to provide for themselves just off AdSense alone. So if you're trying to build your dream on YouTube's paycheck alone, you're not going to win. For those who don't know me, my name is CJ Alleyne, and I want to give you guys 5 truths about YouTube monetization to help content creators go full-time into the industry. If at any point in this video you find this helpful, be sure to hit that like button, also subscribe for more videos just like this, and let's get started straight into them. Point number 1 is AdSense is the starter pack, not the paycheck. So when I was starting off on content creation, I remember on my gaming channel, No Limit CJ, has about 30,000 subscribers. I was posting like every single day. The paycheck that I got was really good, but especially because I'm older now, like I was 18 at the time, so I didn't really I was great money. But since I'm 22 now and I'm preparing to get married and everything, that's not going to sustain me. Most full-time creators make under 10% of their income from AdSense. I'm going to say that again. Most full-time creators that you know make under 10% of their income from AdSense. That means that 90% of their income doesn't even come from Google AdSense or Twitch followers, whatever you are, whatever category you are. That's a big deal, okay? Because once you get monetized, once you become a follower or partner on Twitch, that's when you get paid. So that's 100% of your income online. CPM and RPM is going to fluctuate, right? Niches fluctuate. You might change what you want to do yesterday. 10 years from now, you might not want to do the same thing. Views fluctuate, everything. So AdSense is like almost like the icing on the cake, okay? It's like the icing on the cake. It's actually like a great starter pack, little confidence boost. And actually, it's great to make money playing video games or doing what you do. So that's great. Celebrate that. Don't take away that. If you're 16 years old and you're monetized, keep doing what you're doing. You can add on to it though. If you're older, if you're like 20, 22 like me, the money that AdSense provides isn't going to be enough to sustain at least maybe everything in life, like gas, bills, everything, especially because you get paid once a month. The creators who treat AdSense like a bonus and not a business are going to be able to thrive. And I learned this the hard way, okay? I remember when I started dating, I was relying on AdSense all the way. And, we were just trying to go on dates and stuff like that, but I'm broke. I get paid on the 21st, so we got to wait till the 21st. So it's a good thing to get paid, but just understanding that, it's okay to get a job, okay? It's okay to get a job. It's okay to add to what you're doing. AdSense, until you're able to make AdSense not your main source of income, I would not recommend going full-time on YouTube. This is just from experience. It stressed me out more. It actually made me feel like this was work, not a passion or what I love anymore. So that's my experience. I want to dive into point number 2 now, and that is your real money comes from what you sell and not what you post. And this is more so strictly on online, right? On the online space. If you're trying to really make a business out of what you're doing, what you sell is really going to be the main commodity. So the moment that you attach, say, like a coaching offer, a digital product, merchandise, a membership, your income stops depending on the algorithm. If YouTube's going to tell you how you get paid, that can't be a reliable source. That's a little windy, right? I know that the system of you post a video, then you wait for the views, you beg people to like and subscribe, and you need the engagement and everything, and hope that money comes in, right? I've been there, and that's not a bad thing because it can be something you can rely on when you have momentum. But when you go down, it's really hard to depend on that. If you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this BMW with YouTube AdSense money. Ooh, that might be tough because one month you can make 8,000. The next month you can make 500, depending on how maybe your game is doing or how the topic is doing, right? It can always go up and down. So that can't be your reliant source of income. It's kind of like a follow-up from point 1. But if you learn how to post a video that provides value, that directs viewers to an offer, right, is the cycle that actually allows you to be financially free and actually create income and generate income online. These successful creators do not make all their income doing YouTube AdSense. Now, someone like Mr. Beast, mind you, even someone who could very well do so, he still has his Mr. Beast drinks. He has shirts and merch, toys, everything. He's not stopping because he's able to make more money in multiple streams of income. I would just look at it as an addition, not like AdSense is bad. AdSense is great. It's amazing that you can get paid for doing what you love, but can't be your main source of income, especially if you're trying to be full-time or have financial freedom. Point number 3, 1,000 true supporters pay way more than 100,000 random supporters. And here's the thing. Us as creators, right, like I was saying earlier, we kind of chase this idea of I need to get as much attention as possible so that YouTube can pay me for my views, my subscribers, my likes, and everything like that. But you know, yeah, we sometimes can chase subscribers. We're like, subscribe, please. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody subscribe, even if you don't like 2K. I'll sub to me on 3 channels so I can get this goal of 100K. But businesses are really pursuing people who want to buy, and that's going to be the biggest separator if you're really trying to run this thing as a business. So as a creator, for instance, if a creator had 3,000 subscribers, right, if they had a niche that was very focused down, not to limit them, they could still be themselves, and portray themselves, but they had a niche that they were like, okay, I'm targeting this specific game, not playing 50 games at once, right? And they had also an $100 to $200 offer. Let's say you offered 3,000 people, hey, for $100, I can teach you how to be great at the game. I can teach you how to get into live streaming. I can teach you how to get into content creation, everything. And that was your $100 offer. You could charge 3,000 people $100. Do the math. That's about $300,000. That kind of mindset, even one subscriber can be one buyer. Like if not, don't chase buyers. Like don't beg people to buy from you. Put stuff out for the people who would want to buy from you. If someone has the resource and money and you have this offer that can really change, they can save them 5 years and all they have to do is pay 100, like they would do it. So you can out earn a content creator that has 300,000 subscribers and no offer. You can either make just as much of them doing an $100 offer to 3,000 or more than them if they're not even offering anything, right? So your sub count doesn't pay your rent. Your sub count doesn't pay your rent. Your views doesn't have to pay your rent. Your community does. And it's not to say that they're just these customers that we're hanging on. No. It's a mutual benefit. They're getting the transformation that you offer, which should be excellent, right? You should be giving them something that's worth $100, but in return, you're gaining $100 from them that they trust you with their money, and you're able to invest that money into what you're doing. So you're able to put out better stuff. You're able to put out better content. You're able to put out more valuable information, and you're able to save yourself 40 hours of your week from your full-time job and put those 40 hours into making sure your content's better. That's a great trade-off because they're receiving something that's great and you're receiving something that can help you fund what you're doing. So that's the way I would look at it. Point number 4, monetization actually starts before you hit 1,000 subscribers. And I learned this. This is the first time I'm practicing it though, I will say. So most creators like myself, I'm talking about myself here, thought, once I get monetized, then I'll start making some money on this thing. But the truth is, you can actually earn money way earlier throughout the process. There's different things you can do, like Amazon affiliate links. I actually started doing those recently. If you check my description, I have all the equipment that I use as a content creator. So if you're like, yo, CJ, I like your mic, I like your camera, I like your your PC, or I like your monitors. You guys didn't see that in this video, but if you guys ever thought that, then it's like, yo, like you guys can check it out right now. Go ahead, and you guys can buy it if you really want to. I'm not saying you have to, but if you want to, that's a resource to all my links. Why do I say that? Because if you also do so and benefit from me, I also get a return from Amazon. They send me money based off who actually buys. I checked my account. I actually set that up. I never publicized it. I made like $6. Just saying. Like I never announced it to anybody, but I looked at my Amazon account and said I made $6. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like that's actually really cool. I can help people get the setup stuff that I have, and in return, I also get a commission from Amazon because I referred them to the Amazon product. So affiliate links, I know I dived really into that. Brand deals, you guys can sometimes you might get emails from brands that see your video. If you get like a very high view video and a brand sees it, it's like, hey, I want to work with you and everything. Don't go against your integrity. Don't go against something that is against your values. But if you see something and they offer it, talk to them. I did a couple brand deals actually that was paying me about, I think, $60 bi-weekly. And it was really good. I had like about 800 subscribers, but I was actually earning money online before I got monetized. Coaching, right? I am a firm believer that anybody can be an expert in something that they're practicing or that they're showcasing. And what I mean is, if you, for instance, this channel is pretty new, right? But I'm teaching you about a lot of stuff that maybe you didn't know. But I have experience. I actually have experience, 10 years of experience on content creation. So I can give you guys 10 years of experience in like 10, 12 minutes. To some people, I might look like a a master. When people sometimes in person are like, yo, CJ, like, you're the YouTube guy, like, can you help me out? That's crazy because I'm learning YouTube. I'm still a student, but because I'm one step ahead of you, I become a coach in a way. I can be a coach in a way. So that's really cool. Think about that. And that's not just for me, that's for you too. Maybe you do beauty and makeup. Maybe someone that's trying to get into makeup has no idea, but you've been doing makeup since you were 16 and you're 25 now. Like, you have experience. Like, you have experience. We sometimes devalue it, but listen to what people are saying about you. You're the YouTube guy. You're the tech guy. You're the basketball guy. You're the whatever guy, right? Listen to that. Feed into it and dive into it, because that actually could be something that you can coach people on. So coaching, low ticket digital products, you can, sell stuff like $5.99 thumbnail. I started doing like $5 thumbnails at one point. I think I made a good amount of money doing that. I mean, I just had a skill of making thumbnails. I didn't really have the subscribers for it, but if 5 subscribers saw my thumbnails for $10, I made $50. I can make $50. So low products and servicing, like, once again, like video editing, if you're good at that. Thumbnails, like I said, if someone's like, yo, CJ, I'm stuck. There's one person that consulted with me about Canva. To be quite honest with you guys, I'm not an expert at Canva. Like, I'm not an expert, but I was one step ahead on the concept of Canva because I learned that thing for 3-4 hours, and someone who doesn't get what I learned in 3-4 hours is asking me, I can offer them a service. Like, hey, yeah, I can help you with this for $5, $10. I don't know. But just think, like, there's actually ways. I just want to open up your mind that monetization can actually start before you hit 1,000 subscribers. You don't have to wait for YouTube to give you permission. You can actually start now and really make a big difference for yourself. And last but not least, you need a niche, right? But you monetize a problem. Most creators actually miss this point right here. But you don't make money because you have a niche or you have a passion or you have a very cool personality. Those things are amazing. But most people make money because they're solving a pain point that someone is willing to pay to fix it. And what I mean, and this is strictly business. Now, if I'm talking the game of YouTube, there's either 2 ways that you can come up. There's education, and that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. But it's also entertainment. Like, people like, obviously, like Mr. Beast. It's not like he's helping people like with their school. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't get this thing right here, can you teach me? Oh yeah, let me teach you right now. Which he has done that, actually. But the way that he makes most of his money is entertainment, and entertainment is actually a need because we want entertainment. Sometimes we want an escape. Sometimes our reality sucks so bad that if I could just escape this and actually feel good, then I'm hooked to you. And yeah, there's so many ways that entertainment is actually able to be a problem solver, for one. Just want to dive into that. But as far as the business side and as far as the educational side / like teaching side, people make their money because you're solving a pain point that someone has. And when you're able to understand that, you're actually able to like scale what you're doing. Let me explain what I mean. As a gaming YouTuber, someone who did streaming and stuff like that, what I did is I was obviously staying consistent. I stayed on the same game. I showcased my passion. I showcased my personality and everything. And that drew people into my ecosystem. Like, people like bought into that. Yo, I resonate with you. Something about you, like the light that you have, I really resonate with it. This is why I watch you. And those things were great. Those things were absolutely great. And I actually think those are probably one of the most important, if not the most important thing to have. But on top of that, if you want to maximize it, you got to also be able to help people. And this is what I mean. The videos that got the most views on my gaming channel were actually the tutorials. I did tutorials on like the best dribble moves, the best jump shots, how to do this, how to fix your jump shot, all that stuff, right? But I mixed my education with the entertainment I was already doing. So when I was doing that, I was able to bring people into what I was doing. They ended up buying into my character. So I don't want to say it like that, but the thing that drew some people to me was the fact that they were able to actually find me. People need to actually be able to find what you do. Some people, everybody that hops on YouTube is there for themselves. That's why it's called YouTube, because what you see is all about what you want to see. So if you have your niche and you have your passion and a really cool personality, that's amazing. But if you can't package that right and people can't find you, no one's gonna watch, unfortunately. Like, if I made this amazing video and I called this like best fishing tutorial, like, no one's gonna click. Anybody that's here for fishing is not gonna get what they needed anyway. So everybody's there for themselves. Like, we're all naturally selfish and we all hop on YouTube to see what we want to see. That's what I mean by pain point. Okay, you want to make sure that it's targeted towards what people want to see, and the more specific you are, the more specific people you're going to reach. And for me, that was tutorials, right? I was just posting tutorials about my channel. On this channel, I'm trying to help you expand your mind about monetization and really understand the truth about monetization. So maybe this is a pain point that you didn't even know you had. You didn't know any of this. And if that's the case, I want to encourage you that I have a lot more info like this on this channel. and also in my coaching programs for those who are kind of like hands-on one-on-one, like, okay, break this down to me. Let's talk one-on-one. If you want to find out more about that, you can check the description to book a call with me. But I say that all to say, we all have a need. Some people's need is just, I need you to tell me what to do and I got it. Some people need them to walk them through. And if you need to get walked through, I have an offer in my description. If you just needed this video, here you go. I hope this blessed you generally. YouTube isn't about just your passion and what you love to do, but it's also what people need at the same time. Maybe they need entertainment, so be entertaining. Maybe they need to learn something, so teach them something. Maybe they need to know that they need to learn something, so show them that they need to learn something. If you guys ever want me to clarify this point too, please let me know in the comment section below. I love to go more into it. Simply put it, the niche that you have is the thing that's going to attract people. You know, the fact that you play 2K, the fact that you might look like me, the fact that you might have a personality that you resonate with is really going to be the thing that attracts you. If I'm able to help you out through my entertainment or the fact that I taught you something, then that's going to allow me to get paid. Not necessarily all financial. Even with your attention, you paid attention to this video and you paid attention up until this point. Comment down below still here, actually, if you're still paying attention. I'd love to know just for feedback. But yeah, your niche attracts people into what you're doing, but the solution that you offer pays what you're doing, either attention or financially. I said a lot of mind-breaking stuff, but I love y'all. I hope this video blessed you. If it did, just let me know in the comment section below. I'd love some feedback and even what videos you guys would love to see or which I can help you guys with in any sort of way. And yeah, if you guys are interested in how much I actually made in my first paycheck on YouTube, check out this video right here. I talk about how much I made in my first month after I got monetized. I'll see you guys over there. Peace.